Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
A valedictorian has the right to mention God and Christ in the valedictory address. That's according to the Montana Supreme Court. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel and dean of Liberty University School of Law. Joining me is Matt Barber, director of cultural affairs for Liberty Counsel and associate dean of the law school. Matt, this case is one that makes common sense. It comes out of a Montana Supreme Court in Billings, Montana. The Montana Supreme Court has now reversed a district judge ruling and has ruled in favor of a valedictorian, saying that the valedictorian has a right to mention God and Christ in the valedictory address. This is good news, but it makes common sense.
Yeah, the fact that we need the Montana Supreme Court to step in and reaffirm something that the United States Constitution has always guaranteed, the freedom of religious expression, is really mind-boggling. But that's the point that we've arrived at today with the very calculated disinformation campaign over decades and decades put forward by groups like the American Civil Liberties Union, more recently People for the American Way, Americans United, Barry Lynn's group, and others, trying to really rewrite what the Constitution actually says, trying to essentially skew and twist the establishment and free exercise clauses of the First Amendment in order to essentially create a nation that has freedom from religion rather than freedom of religion.
Well, in this particular case, you've got an individual, and her name is Renee Griffin. She's one of 10 high school valedictorians for the class of 2008, and she had planned to say in her graduation address that she, quote, didn't let fear keep her from sharing Christ and his joy with those around her. She wanted to speak about being someone who lived with a purpose from God and with a passionate love for him. But the principal, John Metz, and the superintendent of the Butte School District Number 1, they demanded Griffin replace the words Christ and his joy with my faith and from God with a passionate love for him with the phrase derived from my faith and based on a love of mankind. Well, that changed the entire, effective intent of her speech. So she wouldn't make the suggested changes. And so the principal and superintendent said, well, then you can't speak at graduation. A judge, after a lawsuit was filed, Yellowstone County District Judge Gregory Todd, ruled in favor of the school district and against the valedictorian. The judge said that policies and practices of the district prohibiting religious speech during graduation ceremonies are applied evenly to all student speakers, and the policy itself was drafted with a specific intent of maintaining school district neutrality toward religion as is required by the Establishment Clause. Well, this went to the Montana Supreme Court, and the Montana Supreme Court has issued a decision now disagreeing with this decision. Now, we had an exact, almost a replica of this case with regards to Erica Corder out in Colorado, where she had something very similar happen to her.
Well, but this has become systemic, Matt, and as I point out, it's because of the disinformation that administrative officials are looking, school officials are looking to in order to try to enforce this anti-Christian policy. We're seeing this type of anti-Christian bullying really rise to the surface of late. That's what Liberty Counsel is here to protect against, but it's not so much, it's even worse than your typical in-school bullying because it's not students bullying students. What we have here are administrative officials, the government officially bullying these students and violating their First Amendment rights. That's the worst kind of bullying. That's what we see happening more and more.
Now, here what you have is someone who earned their position on the platform. They're a valedictorian. Now, when I graduated from high school, we only had one valedictorian, but nowadays you have multiple valedictorians because they give you these advanced courses that people can take, and so you have several people oftentimes getting above a 4.0. Here, that's apparently what you had. You had 10 valedictorians, all of them earning a place on the platform. Obviously, when you listen to all 10 of them, they're going to have different messages, and they're probably short messages, like 60 seconds, no more than 2 minutes for all these valedictorians. So they're short messages. You know that they're individual messages of these students. You know that they're not school messages. You know that they are there because they earned their way there by virtue of their grade. Now you say to the other 9, no problem, you can say whatever you want to. I'm not going to change your words. But to the 10th one, you say, well, you mentioned God and you mentioned Christ. Here's some suggested edits. And when the student says, no, I don't want to do that, and they eliminate you, they disable you, they make you ineligible solely because of the viewpoint of your message being Christian in nature. That is repugnant to our history and repugnant to the Constitution.
Well, and it's illegal. That's a prima facie case of viewpoint discrimination, the exact kind of speech discrimination that the Constitution prohibits. Listen, Matt, you know this. Essentially the only thing, once these students have earned their right to stand up and have the microphone and have the platform, the only restriction that the government can put, that the school administration officials can put on those students is, A, they can't, come out with fighting words, essentially. They can't scream fire in a crowded theater, or they can't threaten imminent revolt against, the government, violent revolt against the government. They can't get up there and be obscene. They can't violate, get up and swear and violate obscenity laws and so forth. Other than that, they can get up and share their story, share their opinions on whatever they want to share.
Yeah, and those kinds of things are not protected by the First Amendment.
No.
Libel and slander, they're not protected by the First Amendment. But this is.
Exactly.
And this is a great decision. Well, we're in the Christmas season, and this obviously happens during graduation, but the same thing happens and even escalates during the Christmas season, where people in schools, they tell students, well, you can't use God or Christ in this song. We're going to have to change it to something else. You can't greet each other with the greeting Merry Christmas. You can't have Christmas cards that say Merry Christmas or that use the word God or Jesus. These are situations that are told to people all the time, not just in schools, but also even in senior living centers. Believe it or not, you would think that in the senior living centers there would be no controversy during Christmas. But unfortunately, the last several years we've had to intervene. Fortunately, we've been successful in every single case where seniors have been told they can't decorate their tree with an angel. And in fact, in one case, the officials took the angel off the top of the tree and cut off the wings and then reaffixed the angel wingless on the top of the tree, which just at that point in time looks like a cone with a head on top of it. I mean, these things are just absolutely ridiculous.
It's absurd.
They're absurd.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, we got the angel's wings back on after we intervened, but these are just absurd things that happen. It's because of the Christian viewpoint.
Yeah, well, our friend Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli here in the state of Virginia recently issued an opinion essentially reaffirming why he needs to do this. Again, is absurd, but officially issued an opinion letting everyone know, letting government officials know around the state that they have a constitutional right to raise nativity scenes, to recognize Christmas, and essentially giving the guidelines in order. So we have great public officials like Ken Cuccinelli who are taking the lead and reversing some of the disinformation that are coming out of organizations like the ACLU.
Well, you can go to Liberty Counsel's website at lc.org. Part of our Friend or Foe Christmas campaign has a couple of different aspects. One is the public setting, the work setting, and then also the private retail market. And in the public setting, we've got legal memos. We've got a Christmas action pact that actually has legal memos on what can be done with regards to nativity scenes, for example, on City Hall, singing Christmas carols or celebrating Christmas in the public schools. Also one for the employment situation. Can employees have Christmas parties? Can they decorate their cubicle or their desk with Christmas-related decorations? All of that is in part of our memos, part of the Christmas Action Pact. And we also have as part of the Friend or Foe Christmas campaign, the Naughty and Nice list. So you need to get that to find out the retailers that are acknowledging Christmas and those that are censoring Christmas, and you can make your choice this Christmas shopping season. Go to Liberty Counsel's website at lc.org. We also have buttons and bumper stickers, the I Love Christmas button and bumper sticker, and the I Help Save Christmas button and bumper sticker. So those are great things that you can use to get out the word about Christmas. Join with other people, Matt, around the country to literally celebrate Christmas and push back against this absurd Christian censorship. Christ
is, as we often say, is the reason for the season. We need to yell it loudly and proudly.
We'll go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. Also, at this time of year, we appreciate your prayers and your financial support as we come to the end of our calendar year. And it's an important time of the year for Liberty Counsel as we prepare not only to close out this calendar year, but to move forward in 2011. We have a lot of exciting things that we'll be sharing with you on future Faith and Freedom programs. Go to Liberty Counsel's website for more information at lc.org.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.